Hi guys, it's Risa. So I'm going to teach you how to make my banana loaf. It's my favorite recipe. Well, it's actually my daughter and my husband's favorite recipe that I make for them or for family members or for friends when they come over or to take to their houses. I do sometimes sneak in a few ingredients that they don't need to know about. Basically, sugar-free, and I use a lower fat margarine. But I used all the rest of the ingredients because sometimes my daughter will say, Mom, can you just make a regular loaf without, making it the skinny version? Anyways, you got to please everybody, right? And everything in moderation as well. So I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I'm making two, so I have some of it already ready so that I didn't bore you with doing two recipes of the same thing. And I have a 9 by 5 loaf pan. I have two of them because I'm making a double one. You can do that. I do it side by side in your convection or in a regular oven. You can do that, which is great because you can freeze it, make it ahead of time like I'm doing, and spray it with nonstick spray. And let's get going with the ingredients that I'm using today. So I'm using 4 bananas, and I'll show you what I did. And I'm using stevia instead of, you can use sugar if you want, guys. Honestly, do what you want. But I'm using stevia. You can use Truvia. You can use Swerve, Sucrin, whatever you want, okay? But today I'm sneaking this in. I can't believe it's not butter light. You can use whatever butter you want. Again, this isn't my lowest cal version of my recipe. Some people use applesauce, but I'm going to use this because I'm bringing it to family and friends. So you can find a lower fat margarine or you can use butter. Baking powder, a pinch of salt, some vanilla, 2 eggs, and a 1.5 cups of flour. So that's what we're going to do, the dry ingredients first and then the wet ingredients. Okay, so I have about 4 bowls because I like the dry, the wet, then I put it together, and then for the banana. So I used 4 bananas and I mashed them really, really, really well. And then I just took my potato masher, and that's what I like to use to get it nice and wet and all broken down, okay? So that's the banana. 4 bananas I like to use. If you don't have 4 bananas, you have 3 large bananas, but the more bananas, the moister the loaf, okay? So I've measured out 1.5 cups of flour. You need 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2 and a half, and then I'm going to use a pinch of salt. That's my dry. Really, really easy. This is such an easy, fast recipe. So if you're going somewhere, I'm just going to get and mix it up. And there's my dry. Now for my wet, I have 2, just going to put this down, 2 eggs. I like to check and make sure that they're nice and clear. That's 1. And 2 eggs. Now, when I make my low-fat version, I usually use Egg Creations, or some people call it egg beaters. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of vanilla. You can use extract. You can use pure vanilla, whatever you have in the house. All right. I'm just going to beat that up. And then you're going to use a 1/3 cup of your margarine or your butter. put it in. All right, so that's a third cup, all in with the wet stuff. You don't need any fancy equipment for this, which is another thing I love. And 2/3 of a cup of the stevia. And just put that in. A lot of recipes, you mix the sugar and butter together. I'm just mixing this up. I'm just going to show you. And I've got the vanilla and the eggs all in. And that's it. Super easy, right? So, now we're going to assemble. Don't drop your stuff like I do. All right. I'll move it out of the way so that I can show you what I'm doing. Even with a lot of counter space, you need even more counter space, right? So, I just usually take like a measuring cup to do this, and I start with some flour mixture, and then actually I'm going to get a fork. I like to use a fork. And then I take some of my wet. Start with dry, end with dry. That's what my mother taught me. Add some more flour. Now add some more of the wet. Doesn't matter how much you use, don't worry about it. And then I mix it with my fork. Don't over mix it. The flour and the wet. Mix it. And then I'm just going to add most of it, and then the rest of the wet. And I want to get all of it, so I'm going to use my spatula. I knew that was going to happen. I knew the egg shell was going to drop. Oh my goodness. All right. So I'm adding all the rest of this wet mixture, like so. And then the rest of the dry, and just mix. So it's all incorporated. I told you, this is super fast. It's great if you're going out. And then now I'm going to add my banana. And then just mix it together. And it just gets all incorporated. My oven is already hot. Now, for all of this, it's 8 smart points per cup. So it's 8, and that 8 plus 4 is 12. And then the eggs is 4 points, so 16 smart points. 0 for the banana, 0 for the flour and sugar. Now, the only thing is that for my family, I use some chocolate chips. So if you have sugar-free chocolate chips and you still want to make it lower points, then don't use these chocolate chips, because for 1 tablespoon, I think it's like 3 smart points. So, but it's your choice. So I've just mixed it all up like so. And I'm going to add, now I have to open it because it's a brand new package. I just got these at Walmart. And my family likes milk chocolate. I don't mind semi-sweet chocolate chips. And I don't like to overpower it. I didn't open it very well. Let's try that again. And I don't measure. You just, you know, I mean, if you're counting it, then measure it. So I'm just going to put in about, I'd say about a third cup. I think that's going to be enough. And I'm just looking for my fork. Again, don't overmix it. It's already blended nice and well. And this is going to be super delicious. And I'm going to put it in my front pan. Some people put in so many chocolate chips that it overtakes the whole recipe. And you want the goodness of the banana. Make sure that you stirred right from the bottom so that you get everything incorporated well. Some people put some almonds on top or walnuts. I know with a lot of allergies these days, people aren't using as many nuts and stuff. They're using more seeds. Although I think almonds you can use. Okay, so that's it, guys. It's delicious. It's quick. It's easy. Bake it for about 50 minutes. Okay, check and make sure that it's cooked well. Use a skewer or a toothpick and make sure it's dry. And I hope you like this recipe. Come visit me on my Facebook page, Risa's Recipes and Weight Watchers Tips. And subscribe and share and tell people. I have over 18,000 people now on my Facebook group. And it's fantastic. So hope you like this recipe. Bye for now.